Hey everyone, Sam here. Out on the range a little bit this morning doing some shooting with a product that I was given to test. It's the EZ V Sight. And until this point I hadn't really had the opportunity to put many arrows downrange and give my initial impressions or feedback on it. So I did do that today. I decided to take my Sword Judge Pro off my Ridge 34, which is an Athens bow. That's my main hunting bow. I took it off because I know I can put it right back on and I'll still be okay. And I decided to shoot it on this bow, given that this is the one I put so many arrows downrange with, I'm very accurate with, and that I know it so well. So let me give you a close-up of the sight. I have it flipped around. There's two different ways you can set it up. You can set it up here so it has the hash marks facing you, or you can have it so that the unmarked V is facing you. I set it up this way with the unmarked V facing me because, in my opinion, if I were going to use the sight, that would really be the only reason I saw enough value in it, is if I could do it this way so that it was more instinctive. I didn't have hash marks. I feel like if you're going to switch to this kind of a sight, that's what you want. You want to be able to gain truly quick, instinctive arrow placement and not have to even worry about any of the traditional types of sighting, marks, pins, etc. So I did shoot with it a good bit. I have some pictures I'll put up too. And here's what my initial feedback is. Couple things. One, just let you know, you're probably already well aware of this, but running the company here that I do with making high performance stabilizers, with shooting extensively, testing products, I've come to expect high degrees of accuracy and consistency in products. And I will say the EZ V, as it's labeled, is a bow hunting sight. And given that it's a bow hunting sight, it is not capable of the level of accuracy and precision that I'm used to. Doesn't mean that it's not a competent sight. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work, but it will not deliver the level of accuracy and precision that a lot of people are accustomed to with traditional pin sights. Now, again, keep in mind what I'm used to, what my expectations are. I use a 10,000th pin. It's the smallest pin you can get. I am used to being able to hit a very small object repeatedly. So, what I did here, I took it to 20 to start, and I got it dialed in. And I found at 20 that it was actually pretty easy to keep arrows in a tight group. And I'll tell you why I think that is. So you can see here there's a target they have. And this target provides you a pretty well-defined oval, which essentially represents the vitals of a big game animal, more so along the lines of a whitetail. And what you do is that you can bracket your sight. So you can see it has the V, of course, here. You can bracket your sight around the edges of that oval. And it's very contrasted. It's black on white. So at 20 yards, it's very easy to see where the edges of your V outline the edges of that oval, right? And it is easy to maintain good accuracy. Certainly kill accuracy and beyond at that range. I went out to 50, 55. I found that no way. It's just that's beyond in my estimation, the capabilities of that sight, because at that distance, it was very difficult to tell how much or how accurately your V is bracketing that area. You must maintain that ratio as you go back in distance, provided you have the correct V insert selected for the speed of your bow. It is very important that you do that. But it is very difficult, and I have excellent eyes. I have 20/20 or better vision, and it was difficult to be certain of just how much precise, in terms of precision, you were actually bracketing that. How far in you might be if you're off a hair. And we know in accuracy, we know in archery with accuracy, if you're off even just fractions of a millimeter at longer ranges, you will see significantly different points of impact. And that's what I was seeing. So it was hard to say if, at 50, 55, if I was in an eighth of an inch more, a 16th of an inch more on these sides with the V. So obviously not able to duplicate the level of accuracy that I see with my pin sight at that distance. Brought it in to 45 or so, started to see at about 40 that I think you could reliably put kill shot arrows into a vital zone sized area at 40 and in. But even then, I feel like at 40 it was a little too loose on its parameters. Got to about 30, and I think for me, if I were just going to put this on with relatively limited experience using it, 30 and in right now would be what I would use for hunting purposes. You could consistently place arrows in the vitals at 30 and in. But, okay, here's the thing. I shoot a bow that's about 282, 283, maybe 285 tops on speed. Relatively short draw, but higher poundage. You know, if I had my pin at 20 and I would misjudge even by, say, 5 yards, I'm still gonna have a pretty good vital kill shot with my standard pin sight. If I misjudge by 10 yards, that's another story. So I can't necessarily expect with my 20 to be, you know, in the middle of the zone if I estimated at 20 and it's actually 30 with my current pin sight. But I would still be not too far off. Now, in my view, I need to be within about 5 yards on my estimation on my shots. I have a rangefinder, of course. I always range my shots. I like to be precise. So I don't like taking things and putting it to chance. I don't like the idea that you're throwing some of what's in your control out of your control. So I think it's a sight that has potential. The concept certainly works, but I don't think it's for everybody, and I think it would take a lot of time to become acclimated to really using it. And here's another thing. So let's look at this again. We got this bracketed oval. This is highly contrasted. Now, extrapolate out to a hunting scenario and imagine how on a game animal that does not have lines, it doesn't have clearly marked delineation areas. How are you going to continue to apply this without tremendous amounts of practice? So if you're only hunting whitetails and you know that whitetails, the vitals even on a small animal to a large animal are ranging within a certain size, then yes, over time I think you could get really good at accurately placing the V where it needs to be, bracketing the vitals. But that's a whole skill set unto itself right there. And again, like I said, I don't really like the idea of just throwing things to the wind, to chance. So for me, I'm not going to hunt with this. At this point, we're already in, you know, almost October here. I've been hunting in Maryland a lot. Archery in PA starts on the 5th. So I won't be hunting with it. But I do think that if you have determination and you're willing to put some time in and you're willing to accept not target level accuracy, that's a condition right off the bat you'd have to be okay with, then yes, this sight certainly could be a very good hunting sight for you. It's built well, I will say that. It is certainly built solidly. I will also add that in terms of adjustment, it is certainly not micro adjustable. So it has more gang adjustments. Once locked down, it's very tight, doesn't move at all or anything like that. It doesn't offer third axis adjustment, and that could potentially represent a little bit of an issue. I could see, you know, at elevated shots, angled shots, and at distance. You know, overall though, it's built to be a good, practical, durable sight. And I think it would hold up to a lot of abuse. And like I said in the beginning of the video, they label this as a bow hunting sight. That's what it is. And for that purpose, you know, on big game, once you've gotten that process down and you've gotten acclimated to what it is you need to do on a shot-to-shot basis, you can make consistent kills with this. But for me, for what I expect, just what I demand out of myself, I really want high levels of accuracy. When I'm not accomplishing that, I'm frustrated. And that's not everyone. That doesn't have to be everyone. But that is how I see things. And that is why I run tap. That is why I developed this gear, because I believe it gives you that edge. It can give you the ability to rise to the next level in terms of your overall accuracy and the performance of your bow. So thanks a lot for everyone for the time that you spent watching this. Go to titaniumarcheryproducts.com. You can see everything we have to offer there. Take care. Again, EZ V Sight. I'm going to give it a thumbs up in terms of its ability to be functional as a bow hunting sight, and that should suffice. So thanks again, Aaron over at EZ V, for letting me have the opportunity to test it. And take care, everybody. Stay tapped out.